We have two stories here of equal importance. One is kind of because, well, Democrats are dragging their feet, and the other one is because Democrats are trying to steal away the democracy. I'll see if we can work in a smooth transition, something a little bit better than that. But first and foremost, you guys probably seen this one this morning, and I've alluded to it a couple of times, but yeah, we got the Axios article up here because out of all of the reliable sources that are out there, I trust Axios the most. They do some very good stuff, and I've used them as sources on quite a few of my videos as well. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and use them because Trump slams McConnell for blocking a vote on $2,000 stimulus checks. When is it rescheduled for? Who fucking knows? Because Mitch McConnell couldn't care less about anybody. Couldn't care less about removing any of the restrictions of the lockdowns, therefore eliminating the need for the stimulus checks. Or hell, in lieu of that, just giving out the stimulus checks, getting rid of all the shit that's in that nearly 5,600 page bill, 5,593, by the way, pages in that stupid bill. Getting rid of all the crap that's in there. Nah, Mitch doesn't want to. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell on Tuesday blocked Minority Leader Chuck Schumer's request to hold a vote on a House standalone measure that would boost the size of stimulus checks from $600 to $2,000 per person. Why did he do that? I don't know. Nobody really knows at this point. President Trump has demanded that the payments be increased, creating a rift between him and Senate GOP leadership. Just one guy, really. One guy and a couple other rhinos. But as you can see, there is quite the faction war brewing between the two wings of the GOP. Ahead of a crucial runoff election in Georgia that will determine control of the chamber. This is probably going to have less than zero to do with the outcome of that election. Much larger consequences at stake than just $1,400. He tweeted on Tuesday afternoon, the president is, unless Republicans have a death wish, and it is also the right thing to do, they must approve the $2,000 payments ASAP. McConnell did not explain why he objected to Schumer's request to fast-track the bill, but noted that President Trump has demanded Congress act on repealing liability protections for tech companies and election-related reforms, in addition to the stimulus check. Those are the three important subjects that the president has linked together. This week, the Senate will begin the process to bring these three priorities into focus, McConnell said in a possible nod to a future package. You can do those things exclusive of one another there, Mitch, okay? I understand that it's very important to get rid of Section 230. Rather it be reformed, but in lieu of that actually happening, just fucking nuke it. Who gives a shit? I'd love to see the world burn for a minute. And like we've stated before, and clearly Mitch doesn't quite realize with the act that was referenced in the official White House briefing on signing the COVID relief bill. But hell, I don't have a, 6-digit salary from the Senate. I shouldn't speak out of turn, I suppose. Perhaps Yertle the Turtle has some kind of fucking 4D chess play moving going ahead. Who knows? The House voted 275 to 134 to pass the $2,000 direct payment bill on Tuesday, with 44 Republicans joining a majority of Democrats. Senators Kelly Loeffler, sorry, my mistake, and David Perdue came out in support of the $2,000 checks. Yes, obviously, because it looks good right now in their re-election campaign. Hawley, Rubio, and Graham have also said, that they're going to support that, and I thought Ted Cruz was amongst those people, but it really doesn't matter. There's more than enough votes for this to pass. 12 Republicans in totals are needed to reach the 60-vote threshold to pass the bill if all Senate Democrats vote in favor as expected, obviously. And here's where Larry David's Downs-afflicted brother chimes up with some of the dumbest shit imaginable, but of course, the only thing dumber that could possibly come out of the mouth of Bernie Sanders would once again come from any of his supporters. He's pledged to delay the Senate's plan to override Trump's veto of a crucial defense spending package unless McConnell holds a full recorded vote on the direct payment measures, keeping the Senate in session during the holiday week and disrupting Loeffler and Perdue's campaign plans.
I just want transparency.
That, and if Bernie doesn't get that extra $1,400, how is he supposed to throw his own New Year's Eve party? He just can't do it. Like, he probably has to buy new plastic furniture for one of his beach houses. He probably has to get all of those kosher wafers in there. Like, he's got so much shit to do, okay? Not because he was given too much to charity that he would be lacking the funds funds in order to pull that off. Anyways, a vast majority of the public, Republican and Democrat, strongly support the $2,000 checks, yes, in lieu of actually relieving restrictions. But as we've seen here, I'll just make a slight mention to this, but the Southern California lockdown, I reported how it was fucking retarded yesterday, and I don't know, for like the past 6 months. No, it's been extended indefinitely, so there we go. That's the first of many, and then they'll just continue to flutter in, and that'll definitely not lead to any sort of armed insurrection. Definitely not. 100% won't happen. There's one question left today. Do Senate Republicans join in with the rest of America in supporting the $2,000 checks? Oh, this was stupid Chuck Schumer. Now, some of my Republican colleagues have said that they support the checks, but there is a major difference in saying you support $2,000 checks and fighting to put them into law. The House bill is the only way to deliver those stimulus checks before the end of the session. Well, it ain't fucking gonna happen because Mitch McConnell is driving his own bus directly off a cliff. I don't know, the old prick is 78 cocksucking years old, so in 6 years' time, he will be 84, and he will not be seeking a re-election, so you poor bastards in Kentucky didn't really have much of a choice, and the chinless grandfather of Jim Norton probably was the lesser of two evils, but he's really proven to, stretch that metaphor as far as it can possibly go. So yes, Trump, like we seen here earlier, slammed it as being just this side of mentally retarded. Unless Republicans have a death wish. Well, I think you probably just said what they actually have right now. Some of them. A vocal minority of them. I don't think that the entire party is totally corrupted with rhinos, but they are definitely the most vocal among them right now. So I think by saying that they have a death wish is fairly likely. And they're also banking on the fact that none of these legal challenges ever pan out. See, I told you I could find a way to segue into this next story. This one's just breaking, by the way. Trump campaign takes Wisconsin constitutional fight to Supreme Court. And this is the one that I reported on a few days ago. The one that was in the appeals court, which some disgruntled little man made a very important distinction that the appeals court, I didn't make it clear it was a federal court. I'm very sorry if anybody was confused by that, but I should have been much more clear when it came to that. Yes, once this lawsuit escalated through all of the state's courts, it went up to the appeals court, and now it's going to be heading to the Supreme Court, where it will probably end up just being dismissed or docketed and slated for a later date like the one in Pennsylvania is. It's supposed to be heard, or no, Pennsylvania state is supposed to issue their response to the lawsuit on January 22nd, rendering the suit quite useless. Like, it'll be nice to expose the fraud, but at the same time, are you fucking retarded? Nothing's going to come out of this. Like I said, the only way that this thing turns around is on January 6th. And I stick by that. I think the courts have pretty much proven themselves to be 100% useless. But let's get down to the statement, because this is important, especially if for some reason somebody in the Supreme Court has a mental lapse and breaks ranks and actually wants to hear this. And I won't disparage Clarence Thomas or Samuel Alito, because they've actually been doing their job trying to make shit happen. Anyways, former mayor of New York City, Rudy Giuliani, the Trump campaign's lead attorney, today announced that the campaign filed a petition for a writ of certiorari with the United States Supreme Court, challenging the Wisconsin Supreme Court decision that allowed over 50,000 illegal absentee ballots in violation of Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution and Wisconsin law. The filing seeks expedited consideration before the January 6th congressional review of the Electoral College votes. This marks the second constitutional challenge to illegal mail-in voting filed by the campaign, following a petition from Pennsylvania filed on December 20th. Will be heard 2 days after a month. Wah, wah. According to President Trump's lead Wisconsin attorney, Jim Trupis, regrettably, the Wisconsin Supreme Court, with their 4-3 decision, which we went over as well, and buddy, let me tell you, those 3 justices were super pissed, refused to address the merits of their claim. This cert petition asks them to address our claims, which, if allowed, would change the outcome of the election in Wisconsin, as there's only 20,000-ish votes separating Biden and Trump. 50,000 of those were just kind of squeaked in by the WEC, just fucking making up rules all willy-nilly, because that's a thing you're allowed to do. Apparently, because nobody's enforcing the rules. 3 members of the Wisconsin State Supreme Court, I wish I could remember their names, including, oh yes, Chief Justice, that's her last name, agreed with the many, including the Chief Justice. I forget, she has a very specific name as well. I could look it up, but that's not pertinent to the story. Agreed with many of the president's claims in the written dissent from that court, December 14th. Professor John Eastman, a constitutional scholar at the Claremont Institute, also noted the petition challenging the decision of the Wisconsin Supreme Court to allow partisan state and local election officials to ignore key anti-fraud provisions of Wisconsin law is extremely persuasive. According to the Trump campaign, if judges don't read it, how persuasive is it? Federal Constitution issues raised by the case cannot be more clear. Article 2 of the Constitution as interpreted in Bush v. Gore, something that 3 of those spineless justices, including the Chief Justice John Roberts, has extensive history in. Kavanaugh, Barrett, they were all a part of George W. Bush's legal team. But Trump's not a neocon, so. Assigns to the legislature the plenary power to determine the manner of choosing presidential electors, not the executive officials, unelected bureaucrats, or even the state's judiciary. That authority was eviscerated in Wisconsin, resulting in more than 50,000 illegal ballots being cast and counted. The Trump petition raises a number of issues, including more than 28,000 votes were counted from people who failed to provide identification by abusing the state's indefinitely confined status, including 2 Biden electors. You don't say. Nearly 6,000 absentee ballots were counted that were contained in incomplete and altered ballot envelopes that the Wisconsin statute expressly forbids. God, this sounds damning. It's going to look really stupid when it gets thrown out. More than 17,000 ballots were collected by hand in direct contravention of the statutes in Democrat-sponsored events in Madison in September and October. That was I forget what they called it. A big fraud meeting in the park. A vote in the park or something stupid like that. Where they were like raffling off prizes if you'd sign up and vote. It's fucking stupid. The typical Democratic fucking vote drive. It's kind of like stupid Tana, what's her name? Tana Mojo? Tana Airhead, whatever her name is on YouTube here. Fucking giving pictures of her, whatever, run-of-the-mill fake ass for confirmed votes for Biden. Should have thrown her in the same women's clink that they sent Linda Blair and Caged Heat. I'll provide the broom handle. But yeah, that's a couple of the big stories of the day. I don't know, we don't really have a lot of explanation on either, so I just wanted to kind of sandwich them together in some kind of a really shitty GOP Oreo. The only thing that we're missing is a heaping helping of spin, and if you guys want to look up any sort of Mitch McConnell related article right now, or any sort of reference to this going up to the Supreme Court right now, there'd be a fucking dollop of that everywhere you look. So save you all the trouble, just give you the facts, do with them what you will, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you guys to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.